Hey fams, welcome back to the channel. Please subscribe and let's get started. Let's clear something up right from the start. Africa is not a country. It's a common misconception, often perpetuated by simplified narratives. It's a continent bursting with diversity. A vibrant tapestry woven from countless unique threads. Over 50 countries, each with its own distinct history, government, and identity. Hundreds of cultures, each expressed through unique traditions, art forms, and social structures. And thousands of languages reflecting the rich linguistic heritage of the continent. This incredible diversity is what makes Africa so special. But despite this incredible diversity, there's a bold idea that's been gaining traction, a concept that could reshape the economic landscape of West Africa. It's the idea of a single currency for West Africa. Imagine buying jollof rice, that delicious West African staple, in Accra and Lagos with the same money. No currency exchange fees eating into your pocket. No confusing conversion rates to calculate. It's about more than just convenience for tourists and travelers. It's about fostering deeper connection and facilitating trade. A single currency could turn neighboring countries into a true economic family, breaking down barriers and promoting regional integration. This isn't just dry economics or abstract financial theory. It's about rewriting the future for generations to come, creating new opportunities and empowering individuals. West African nations are eager to shape their own destiny, moving beyond a complicated past marked by colonialism and economic dependence. The conversation about this potential currency is happening everywhere. It's a topic of discussion in every corner of West Africa, from presidential palaces, where leaders are weighing the strategic implications, to university classrooms, where students are debating the potential benefits and challenges, and all the way to the bustling streets, where everyday citizens are wondering how it might impact their lives. The plan is ambitious. To create a new kind of economic power, a force to be reckoned with on the global stage. This power won't come from one single flag or nation, but from many, united in purpose and sharing one wallet. Why is this conversation happening now? Because Africa's young, dynamic, and increasingly educated population is ready to lead the charge. They see a future where starting a business in one country doesn't limit you to that market, but instead means having access to a consumer base across 15 nations. They want a louder, more unified collective voice on the world stage, a voice that demands to be heard and respected. This documentary is about that ambitious dream, a vision of a prosperous and interconnected West Africa. We'll explore the hope, the hype, and the very real hurdles involved in creating a single currency for over 400 million people. It's a story of ambition, of forging a stronger regional identity, and of the ongoing quest for a truly united and economically powerful West Africa. So, what would it realistically take to make this ambitious dream a tangible reality? What are the key challenges and potential pitfalls? Let's embark on this journey and find out. To understand the push for a new currency, a unified monetary system across the African continent, we need to delve into the past. You have to look at the old ones, and their baggage. These aren't just pieces of paper or metal, they represent a history of economic control and influence. They tell a story of how Africa's financial landscape was shaped by external forces. When European powers colonized Africa, they redrew borders and reshaped societies. They imposed their own money, establishing financial dominance as a key tool of colonial power, replacing local systems with francs, the currency of France, pounds, the currency of the United Kingdom, and escudos, the currency of Portugal. Each of these currencies represented not just a means of exchange, but also the economic and political power of the colonizing nation. This wasn't just about trade, it was about fundamentally reshaping the economic structure of the continent. It was about control. Control over resources, control over markets, and control over the very financial lives of the African people. Even after independence, when African nations gained their political sovereignty, the legacy lingered. The economic structures established during colonialism continued to exert their influence, especially with the CFA franc, a currency that embodies this lingering colonial influence. The CFA franc, used by many West African countries, a monetary union that ties these nations together, is pegged to the euro and guaranteed by France. A relationship that raises questions about economic sovereignty. But there's a catch, a significant condition attached to this guarantee. These countries must keep a big chunk of their reserves, a substantial portion of their national wealth, in the French treasury, effectively placing a significant portion of their financial control in the hands of a foreign power. Supporters say it brings stability, providing a secure exchange rate and fostering economic confidence. But critics call it a colonial relic, a vestige of a past where African nations were not fully in control of their own destinies. Monetary slavery, a system that, according to its detractors, perpetuates economic dependence. If you can't control your own money, if your monetary policy is dictated by external forces, can you really be independent? Can a nation truly claim sovereignty when its financial levers are not entirely in its own hands? The CFA system feels less like partnership, less like an equal collaboration between sovereign nations, more like a parent still holding the keys, dictating the terms and conditions of the relationship. So, the push for a new currency is about more than economics. It's about something far more profound than just balancing budgets and managing inflation. It's a political statement, a declaration of economic self-determination. It's about cutting colonial strings, severing the ties that bind African nations to a past they are striving to overcome, and taking back control, asserting their right to manage their own financial affairs. African nations want a currency managed in Africa, a monetary policy set on the continent for Africans designed to serve the needs and aspirations of the African people, by Africans, leveraging the expertise and insights of African financial professionals. They want money that reflects their realities and ambitions, a currency that supports their development goals and reflects their unique economic landscape, not Europe's, not a currency designed to serve the interests of a different continent. It's about changing the locks, taking control of their financial infrastructure, and claiming financial independence, asserting their right to chart their own economic course. That's a freedom worth fighting for, a goal that justifies the effort and the challenges involved. The single currency is a step toward that freedom, a tangible symbol of African unity and economic empowerment. But how do you build something new from such a complicated past? How do you create a unified currency that addresses the diverse needs and challenges of the African continent, while also overcoming the legacy of colonialism? The plan has a name, the ECO. The ECO is the proposed single currency for the 15 ECOWAS countries. This dream has been around since the 1970s, but progress has been slow. The goal? A monetary union, one currency, one central bank like the euro or the US dollar. Leaders see this as the final step in regional integration, turning individual economies into a powerful bloc. The Vision West Africa negotiating as one, with a booming voice on the world stage. But joining the club means meeting strict economic criteria. Low inflation, controlled debt, and balanced budgets. These rules are there to protect the whole group from one country's problems. It's about commitment. Once you're in, you're all in. The stakes are high, but so are the rewards. So what's in it for everyday people? What are the potential benefits if West Africa successfully adopts a single currency? What advantages could it unlock for the region and its people? The most significant advantage? Easier trade across borders. Imagine a seamless flow of goods and services throughout the region. No more juggling multiple currencies, constantly checking exchange rates, or dealing with cumbersome paperwork for every transaction. This simplifies business and reduces costs. Small businesses, the backbone of West African economies, could expand their reach and sell their products across borders with greater ease. They could operate almost as easily in a neighboring country as they do within their own, fostering growth and regional integration. This increased trade and economic activity could lead to significant job creation, offering new opportunities. This is especially crucial for the region's massive youth population, who are eager for employment and economic advancement. West African entrepreneurs would suddenly have access to a vastly expanded market of over 400 million people, a huge leap from the limitations of their individual countries. They would no longer be confined by the borders and economic constraints of just their home country. With a larger market and reduced barriers, innovation would flourish across the region. Overall economic activity could surge, leading to greater prosperity and improved living standards. And for everyday people, the benefits would be tangible. Cross-border travel and money transfers would become significantly simpler and cheaper. Students pursuing education, workers seeking opportunities, and families looking to reunite or share resources could move and transact more easily across borders. Beyond economics, it would foster a stronger sense of shared identity, with people increasingly seeing themselves as West African citizens, united by a common currency and shared destiny, rather than just nationals of individual countries. Furthermore, a single, stable currency would attract significant foreign investment, boosting economic growth and development. A unified economic bloc would also give the region a stronger voice and more bargaining power in global trade negotiations. Investors are naturally drawn to stability and the potential of large, integrated markets. With a single currency, West Africa would no longer be perceived as a collection of small, fragmented economies. It would transform into a powerful economic whale in the global ocean. And in the competitive world of global economics, it's undeniably advantageous to be the whale, commanding attention and wielding influence. However, such ambitious dreams inevitably come with their own set of significant challenges and obstacles. If this is such a great idea, why hasn't it happened? Because it's incredibly tough, like getting your whole family to agree on dinner. The economies are wildly different. Nigeria's oil wealth versus the Gambia's tourism. One-size-fits-all monetary policy is a huge challenge. Trust is another hurdle. 15 governments, each worried about losing control or being dominated. Political instability and old colonial ties, especially with France, complicate things further. Untangling these relationships is messy and tense. Creating a new currency means navigating a web of history, politics, and economics. The euro is the obvious comparison, but it's more cautionary tale than blueprint. The euro boosted trade and travel, but also brought crises. Like Greece, stuck with a currency it couldn't control. West Africa's economies are less industrialized and more dependent on commodities. Price swings in oil or cocoa could hit the whole region hard. Europe built strong political institutions before launching the euro. ECOWAS is still working on that. The lesson: a single currency is as much about politics as economics. Deep integration and solidarity are essential, especially in a crisis. West Africa needs its own model, not a copy of Europe's. The risks are real, but so is the potential. The question is, can West Africa build the trust and institutions needed? The answer will shape the region's future. And for the next generation, the stakes couldn't be higher. What does all this mean for young people in West Africa? Everything. Over 60% of the population is under 25, ambitious, connected, and ready to build. Multiple currencies are a digital and economic roadblock. A single currency would make payments, business, and collaboration seamless across borders. It would empower freelancers, creators, and tech entrepreneurs to go pan-West African from day one. It's about jobs and mobility, making it easier to move for work and fill skills gaps. Instead of brain drain to Europe, talent could circulate within West Africa. For many, the ECO is a symbol of a new, united Africa, less tied to old divisions. If Afrobeats can cross borders, why not money? The single currency is both a practical tool and a powerful symbol. It's about building a future where young Africans lead and belong. The next generation is ready for change. Will their leaders deliver? Zooming out, this is about global power. For too long, African nations have been pawns, not players in the world economy. A single currency is a move from pawn to queen. ECOWAS's combined GDP would make it a major global player. Negotiating as a bloc means better trade deals and more respect. Economic power brings political power, a louder voice in global institutions. It's about moving from rule-taker to rule-maker. A strong central bank could shield the region from global shocks. It's about resilience, self-reliance, and true economic sovereignty. The world is watching. Is West Africa ready to lead? The ECO is more than money. It's a dream of unity, reimagined for today. The challenges are real: economic hurdles, political distrust, and colonial ghosts. Failure is possible, but so is transformation. The promise: a future where trade, opportunity, and voice are shared across borders. The path forward demands political will, trust, and bold leadership. The energy for change is bubbling up from the youth, entrepreneurs, and artists. Whether the ECO arrives soon or not, the conversation is already changing West Africa. It's forcing nations to confront history and imagine a new future together. Africa isn't a single country, but unity is a powerful force. The journey is long, but the destination is finally within reach.